Good evening, everyone. Today is 10/10/2013. Tomorrow is Kyle's first birthday party, so that's exciting. Been a few days since I've loaded up one of these, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of go through. I got a couple comments, and yeah, so I'll start with the comments. Your balancing analogy is insightful. This is from Frank. Also, like stabilizers on a ship. I will use this. I had to give in and take an anxiety drug called lorazepam. I've heard lorazepam's a lot like smoking marijuana. I forgot my brother-in-law or something was taking one of them. I think they're little tiny, tiny pills if I remember correctly. You can take them and it kind of just like zones you out. So good on you for taking that. I hear it works well. I believe I took something called clonazepam or something. And it just made me kind of, my mind just kind of went crazy. So I'm not a big crier, but I suddenly had no control over the crying spells. I hope to get my head back on straight soon. Yes, just one single metastatic melanoma tumor found, and it's in my right lung. I got the diagnosis August 17th, or August 19th. When you mentioned talking, are you referring to a chatting system? I sure appreciate your helping hand. Either way, man, I mean, I'm totally down. I have Skype. My Skype address is just moldingbox, Moldingbox. So you can add me on there or just through comments or send me an email. My email is just Jordan, Jordan, Gurns, Gurnzz, at gmail.com. So if you want, just reach out either way, man. I would definitely love to help. I mean, you're going through something like that I'm going through as well. So kindred spirits, right? And the lorazepam works great. Whatever works for your anxiety and stuff like that. I'm definitely here to chat if you want. So yeah, hope all is well. And then I got a comment from my dad. He said, "Son, I enjoy following your blog. This is part of my Sunday morning routine, catching up on the previous week. I have to, so I'm still working on the Navy fighter jet adventure. This is taking longer than I thought, but I think the Supply Corps connection in Fallon, Nevada is the way to go. I haven't got the list yet, but sent a reminder to the foundation secretary today. We'll get there." So me and my dad when we were driving home from Boys Day Out, we were talking, and I said one cool thing that I'd really like to do is like go and fly a Navy fighter jet. And he's like, "I think I can do that." So thanks for that progress update, Dad. That's awesome. I have a suggestion. You have a lot of people that follow your blog from the beginning, but you also have some that you have picked up along the way. It might be useful, and I would like to see you do a blog where you just go through your melanoma timeline from the beginning to where you are today, including all the bumps in the road along the way, why you opted for some types of treatments, why you declined others, etc. This would be a good way to catch everyone up to the present moment without having to go through every blog from the beginning. Love you, Dad. So that's actually a good suggestion. I'm gonna try and do that right here. So about 7 years ago, I had a mole on my head. You can kind of see the scar. Well, maybe not. My skin's amazing, so you can't see the scar. But right about here, I had a mole on my head. They shaved it off. It came back, so they did the surgery where they cut like a little thing like that and up like this, and then kind of closed it together, and then cut down my ear line like that, pulled all the skin up to sketch that up. So that was like 7 years ago. Took it out. It was benign melanoma. In about February of last year, so 2012, I had some lymph nodes on this side of my neck starting to swell up, and I had been traveling. My wife and daughter at the time were sick, like it had been going through sickness, so I thought it was just sickness. February went into March, and they were still kind of. I had one originally, and then another one started swelling up. So I went to an urgent care, or just like a doctor, because I didn't have a regular doctor, and they looked at it and just kind of were like, well, antibiotics, whatever, take that. So I took the antibiotics and nothing happened. In fact, they started to grow a little bit bigger. So we went to an ENT. Beginning of April, he kind of, was telling me, well, I went and got a CT scan at the ENT. He looked at them and said, well, there's the one lymph node we see. There's another one that's into the parotid gland, so we'd have to take that out. But with the previous melanoma, he's like, there's probably a 10% chance that it's actually melanoma, but you're not going to miss anything. So within April 4/20 is when they did the surgery. They took out everything. Unbeknownst to me, they had told Paula actually that day that they thought it was cancer, but they had me go back on the 25th. So I went in and they said they took out 20 lymph nodes. 4 of them came back as melanoma. And so that's kind of where I found out about everything. From that, so that was April. In May, I went and saw an oncologist up at Huntsman who referred me to do radiation. So I went and did radiation through all of June. So I did 20 days of radiation. And then, or all of June, March, April, May. I think that was May actually. Oh, it was June. So in June I did radiation, and then July I kind of had the month off to recover. So when they did radiation, they did it on this side of the face. I lost my sense of taste, and like I got a third-degree burn on the back of my neck. I still don't grow some hair back here. My beard grows in all kind of weird here. So all that. Lost my sense of taste for about a month. Um, then I went into chemo. Chemo, I did what was called biochemotherapy, so it was 3 chemo drugs, vinblastine, cisplatin, and dacarbazine, I think. And then it was 2 immune fighting drugs, like one ipilimumab and some other one that I can't remember the name of. So I was in the hospital. I actually checked in on a Monday morning and I left Friday afternoon or Friday evening. So I was on a 24-hour drip the entire time. Got out, lost my appetite, so anything I would eat tasted good, and then I would just vomit it up. So that was kind of fun. From that, I was supposed to go back 2 weeks later to go in for another round, and during that time I read. During the whole cancer thing, I'd gotten this book called The China Study from my friend Alex. Read through that. It linked a lot of like diet and lifestyle with cancer. Started reading a ton, not just on that, but just books on everything on cancer itself, on melanoma. Looked at, like Garrison looked at, like some Mexican clinics, like drinking dirt water, and all sorts of different things. So decided to drop out of chemo because after reading like on the National Cancer Institute, on the American Cancer Society and all the websites, that it wasn't really doing much for me. So dropped out of those things. Ended up just changing my diet. So went vegan. Really started cutting out the salts, the fats, the sugars, the processed foods. Got onto an organic kind of plant-based diet. Yeah, and then from there went and did, let's see, I went and did this clinic up in Idaho where it was like high dose vitamin C. They gave me some like UV IV drips, hyperbaric chamber, and at the same time I was doing black salve, which is like putting that stuff on my face. I think I showed some, but there's like I have a couple holes, which black salve was really cool. It took out the tumor, so it like fell out of my hand, which was just awesome to see. And then did the Idaho thing a couple times. Then at I would say the beginning of maybe May of this year, maybe March or April, I started to get some bumps. So I got like this bump started to come up and a couple behind my ear that were kind of small. So that's why I used the black salve and it just kind of came up. This one was kind of prevalent and was there for a while. In May, I started to see more of these pop up and kind of up and around here. I felt one on my back. In June and July, or end of May is when I got on the Cavitec trial, I believe, where they shot me with the cold virus into these tumors, like this one, and there used to be another one, like right, yeah, it was this one. It used to be a lot bigger. So this one, and this one. Did Cavitec for like 3 months. Nothing really happened. It actually kept growing. So that was about July. In September, I believe it's September, I got on the new study to dabrafenib, where it's gone through and really, kind of done all the reduction and everything like that. So that's all like the cancer treatment up to about today. Also about 6 to 9 months ago, I started doing a lot of meditation. So really started focusing on, I read a lot of things about like self-healing and just looked around and saw a lot of that stuff, like people that would, if it was prayer, if it was faith, if it was spirituality or whatever it is. So started researching a lot on that stuff, just reading a ton of different books. So got heavily into meditation, which I really enjoy. So been doing that since then. Been working on getting my body centered with and aligned with my mind, getting everything, kind of as one, and really, focusing on the emotional side as well. So kind of, not only working on the body by eating vegan, working with the doctors because we have knowledge, we might as well use that. But and then working on my mind so I can deal with a lot of the stuff that comes up, working on my emotions so that I can look at it objectively and keep a positive attitude. I don't take it personally. I look at it as an event that's happening, and honestly, like, it's just an adventure. It's just life. So, um, yeah, I think that about sums it all up. Kind of what happened and where I'm at today. Yeah, living life, having a great time. So I hope that helps. Ask any questions, and there were some hangups, but I don't know. It's just more. I think the biggest bumps in the road were me committing to things and actually sticking with them and going with them. And I've really kind of switched my mindset and kind of the way I approach things from do everything at once to really try and just do one thing at a time and focus on that until it becomes a habit and then move forward from there. So um, right now I feel amazing. Like, it's awesome. I have a new lease on life. I feel, because with these things going down, it really gets me, like, not so focused on my health and really focusing on the broader spectrum. And with having, like, Kyle's birthday tomorrow, it's really really cool. Before I started the what is it, the dabrafenib trial, I had tumors. So, and I'll give you a tumor right now. So I still believe I have two behind each eye. All these are still here. I can still feel the one in my back. It's gone down a lot. I can still feel it. Like, the one on my arm is almost gone completely. I haven't seen scans yet, but from the last scan I had one on the line of my liver and the line of my spleen, so both tumors there. And right before like a week before I got on the trial, I started kind of hacking up blood. So I'd, like, you feel mucus in the back of your throat, so I'd kind of cough it up and it just came out like dark bloody. My eyes really started to hurt, like, every time, if I kept them open for a while, like, it would really feel like just eye strain, like, really really bad. So that was about a week before I got on this trial, and then getting on this trial, like, all those symptoms have cleared up, and it's been pretty fantastic. So yeah, good news. Yeah, and I hope that helps. I hope that is a good history. And then I just found out some sad news. One of my friends, GVLoanGuy, or Tom Fox, passed away September 30th. So yeah, he was another melanoma. He actually had the same type of stuff on this side of his face. He was an awesome guy, and really really, sad to see him not be here anymore. But you know, he was definitely an inspiration, and my heart goes out to his family. But that everyone dies at some point in time, and I think Tom went out with a great attitude, and has helped a lot of people. So thank you, Tom, and yeah, we'll see you around, I'm sure. That's all for tonight. I'll ask you guys again: are you closer to where you want to be now than you were, an hour ago, or a day ago, or 30 minutes ago? It really brings, especially with kind of hearing about Tom, it really brings that fragility of life. It's the most wonderful thing, but don't waste it. Don't waste it on just being angry or sad or anything like that. It's just not worth it. Oh, I totally forgot. I went to Vegas with the Mavericks this last few days too, which was just amazing. But and just met a lot of really cool people, had a lot of really great conversations. And it comes down. It's kind of the same, following the same path. Like, it's just life. Have fun, enjoy it, love it, and kind of go from there. So yeah, talk to you all soon. I know this was a long video, but see you and peace out.